Hi guys, Rami Avidan. I'm the SVP of IoT for Deutsche Telekom. And today I will take you through what we do at DT with regards to IoT and how we can create value for you. So this session is called Unlocking the Power of IoT. The concept of the IoT Hub is to create a truly open ecosystem that allows us to orchestrate a wide variety of capabilities, creating one infrastructure of all of these silo solutions, creating harmony between them, creating interoperability between them, so that the time to market and the time to value for you as a customer is dramatically reduced. Of course, the ultimate aspect of this is also to bring down the costs of being able to deploy all of these capabilities to be able to get into the four value streams, right, of the revenue and the cost reduction and the regulatory compliance and the environmental impact, right? So the way that we do that then is to bring together a wide variety of different platforms, devices, applications, and also connectivity, which is Deutsche Telekom's sort of bread and butter, into an infrastructure that allows our customers to consume those services in a much more streamlined manner. And so what I thought we would do now is actually take a look at that IoT hub and actually understand a little bit more around how that works and what our thoughts around that are. So basically, the output of the hub is allowing our customers the ability to create IoT solutions much easier and much faster. It will also really enable transparency, the transparency of being able to actually manage a complete IoT ecosystem and the infrastructure of that ecosystem, which is obviously super complex to do, especially if you're in many different type of verticals as an enterprise. But it is also about externalizing as much of the capabilities that the IoT technologies really sit in to you as a customer. Because I can promise you there is no such thing as one size fits all. And of course, every single enterprise have their specific requirements, have their specific strategic targets that they want to achieve. And they have their specific customers that they want to engage in a specific manner. And so what you need is to be able to have the flexibility to have an infrastructure, but allow customers then to pick and choose whatever they want to use from that infrastructure and its capabilities to be able to obtain their business values, right? And so those are the overriding reasons to why we're doing this and why we believe that it creates a lot of value for our customers by tapping into the IoT Hub and all of its capabilities. Okay, so let's invite Kaveh Heydari. Hi, Kaveh, how are you?
Hi, Rami. I'm fine, thank you.
Good to have you with us. Look, I've just shared with the audience, our thoughts high level on the IoT Hub and how we're thinking and why we think that it creates value for our customers, right? But I wanted to engage you and ask you some questions because, of course, the underlying reason of what we're trying to do here is to orchestrate a wide variety of capabilities, but also to be very much agnostic. Even so on, for example, connectivity. And we say that we're basically connectivity agnostic, right? Where we allow our customers to actually connect up any type of device. So could you maybe share some information and ideas around A, why we're doing it, and B, how we're actually making that come alive for our customers when it comes to connectivity and platforms?
Right. Exactly. I mean, Rami, that's one of the really important principles that we are working on. When we are talking about a platform agnostic, basically what we really mean with that is that we are building a technology stack that is able to get relevant data from any kind of platform. And as you were talking about this before, when we are talking about IoT, we are talking about platforms that provide connectivity, different types of connectivity, be it a 3GPP, cellular-based connectivity, or other type of non-3GPP connectivity, like LoRa, like Zigbee, like satellite maybe even. So that's the connectivity part. But there are also, at the same time, IoT type of platforms, right? So let's say device management platforms. So we have our own things in Deutsche Telekom Group, the Cloud of Things, but of course there are numerous other platforms out there that providing similar services. One is more strong in this area than the other, but there are many different device management IoT platforms out there, as well as connectivity platforms. Now, one of the biggest challenges within IoT is this whole complexity. How do I make my device talk to my application that is supposed to do something with the data? Now, what we are building in our technology stack is that we are building an orchestrator layer that is getting the data from any of those platforms underneath and offer that data in a harmonized way, in an open standard way to the consumer. And the consumer in this case could be a user, it could be an actual application or a third-party system, it doesn't really matter, because we are offering a open standard API to access the data that is coming from those various platforms. So this is basically what we mean with platform agnostic. It doesn't matter if it's a connectivity platform or it's a IoT platform. What you need to bear in mind is there is a different aspect to this as well. It's not only about different types of platform, it's also about technology. So we are talking about the cellular technology. Already there are different types, like 2G, 3G, 4G. There is narrowband IoT in there. In the future, there will be other standards coming up, but there is also a lot of devices that are absolutely not 3GPP based. So wireless LAN, Bluetooth, LoRa. And what we are building is actually, we are putting, let's say, elements in our technology stack that is able to talk, to understand those standards, those different types of protocols, and we hide that complexity basically for the user. And to the application, to the user, we are basically giving a standard API. Usually this is a REST API. We provide that data basically to the application that needs it. That application could be a third-party application again, or it could be our own applications that we develop further for specific verticals, so to say. So in essence, when we are talking about adding value to this whole ecosystem, basically what we are trying to do is to hide away all this enormous complexity that the user has to face just in order to get data from a device up to the application and does something with it. So that's basically the essence of the whole technology stack that we are building.
Thank you. So basically what I'm hearing here, Kaveh, is not only is the IoT Hub catering to customers that have done nothing in IoT yet and want to get started, but it also caters to customers that have actually, enterprises that have deployed IoT capabilities already that can then be infused into the hub and married with some of the other capabilities that we already that we have in the IoT Hub, right? Enriching their own capabilities, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, just imagine that you already have deployed IoT for your business. Most probably you have to deal with managing your connectivity, your SIM cards, and so on. At the same time, you need to manage your devices and basically taking care of the data that is coming already from the devices. Now, usually what you need to do is look at different platforms using different type of user interfaces and so on. And we believe that bringing that data together in an harmonized way, in a standard, open way, and combining that data together, that brings a huge benefit to the already existing deployed assets, basically. This makes the usage of already deployed assets extremely simple, because everything is in one view. You can access that data in a very standardized way, and you can decide what you want to do with that.
Excellent. So call to action to our audience here is, of course, we will reach out to you later in Q2 to allow you to start to test drive, to engage with IoT Hub. And so the call to action will be to sign up and get notified when that will be available to you guys. But really, I think this is set to create a lot of value for our customers. So Kaveh, first of all, thank you for taking the time and joining us. Much appreciated. And I'm sure that you will be able to catch up with a lot of these customers that are listening right now at the later stage as they want to engage with IoT Hub. Thanks a lot.
We'll be looking forward to that. Thank you.
Cheers. Okay. So of course, the IoT Hub is catering to a wide variety of different enterprises and partners that want to engage in a wide variety of different capabilities. But of course, we also have customers that are only looking for ready-made solutions in certain verticals. May that be in logistics, and of course, in these times of Corona. One of the things that a lot of companies are worried about is the supply chain. We're seeing a lot of customers coming to us with requests of being able to optimize their supply chain. Right now, some of those are going to want to engage through the IoT Hub, where there's a lot of capabilities that you can draw upon to be able to create your end-to-end solutions. But some of them will want to have plug-and-play solutions. So, the idea, of course, with the hub is to streamline a lot of capabilities, but of course, a lot of customers simply want off-the-shelf capabilities that are simply plug and play. But honestly speaking, that hasn't really existed. There is a lot of players that are saying that exists out there, but honestly speaking, that hasn't really been there. And if you think about some of the other industries, customers are looking for configurations. You can even, Rauf, look, if today you can go to basically any given auto manufacturers and configure your car through a configurator, right? What colors, what engine, what alloys, what seats, leather, whatever, right? And honestly, if the automotive industry, which is a very complex industry, is able to create that kind of configurator for a very complex offering, we should be able to orchestrate the same thing from an IoT perspective, right? And so actually, one of the things that we're now launching and taking to market is something that we call the IoT Solutions Builder. And so the IoT Solution Builder is really about allowing our customers the ability to configure their IoT solutions end-to-end, where we are basically, through a set of questions, guiding our customers to how their end-to-end solution should look like. So why don't we take it for a test run, right? Let's say that we have a use case where we want to trigger an event. Let's say an event within a supply chain. Let's say automotive lubricants, okay? That needs to be in an automotive factory at one point in time. To ensure that the factory continues to motion. So wouldn't it be a great insight for the lubricant supplier to understand if the barrels in the factory are running low, let's say below 20%, so that they can automatically trigger a shipment of the new lubricants to the factory, right? Let's use that as a use case, right? So basically for this type of use case, the supplier, the lubricants, they would then basically choose a sensor, in this case, a level sensor. And here, obviously, there are many different types of sensors that can be deployed, but let's focus in on the specific use case, right? So the supplier chooses the level sensor. He then decides on what type of back and cloud infrastructure he wants to be able to use. And in this case, we will obviously recommend the DT Cloud of Things, the Telecom Cloud of Things infrastructure, which is an infrastructure that allows both device and data management capability and application enablement layers, right? So the customer picks that, and you can see the little dots building up in the bottom part of the screen into a solution, right? We then ask the customer how frequently they want to get information from the device. Is it every day? Is it every second? If it's every hour? And to build up the types of connectivity infrastructure that the customer may need for their specific solution, right? There may also be, of course, additional services like installation or consulting and integration that the customer may want to bundle into that solution. But ultimately, of course, what we're doing here is we're trying to streamline and simplify dramatically the way that you can build up your capabilities, right? So think about this as a one-stop shop almost entirely for everything and anything that you would want to be able to orchestrate. And typically the customers, even in large enterprise environments, you don't necessarily start rolling out hundreds of thousands of these connected assets, right? You start smaller, maybe initially with a proof of concept that materializes into a small commercial rollout to gauge the benefits as you scale it, right? And the solution builder is a great way of getting started, keeping down the costs, maybe not achieving all of the assets or of the value that you're looking to achieve, but actually giving you a complete understanding of what you are able to tap into, right? And so to us, the feedback that we're getting from our customers is that this is a great tool, a great way of getting started with IoT without having to spend hours and hours, weeks and months on end to be able to stitch together these different capabilities, right? We've basically done it for you, right? So this is a great way of actually getting started with IoT. Now, I'd love for you to also get engaged with our IoT solution builder, right? And so the call to action here is to go onto our web page, perhaps contact one of our sales agents there, and they will be able to take you through how you can get started with the solution builder and actually start tapping into the world of IoT. And so this very short session was to give you a first insight into what we at DT IoT are doing and the way that we see the market and what we're working on, right? And what we're trying to do to be able to allow you to be able to tap into the values of IoT, shorten the time, but also reducing the technology barriers and perhaps even the cost barriers of being able to get started with IoT. And we're gagging to be able to engage with you guys. So please don't hesitate. If this is appealing to you, please do reach out to us. We're here to help you digitize. Thank you so much and looking forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot.